Today I just want to give you an update of all the construction projects that I've been doing in the garden. I've almost finished them, and next year I'll have a few more, but for this year I think it's almost finished. So let me get to that.
Yes! Please subscribe!
Well, the first job was this big polytunnel behind me, and I say it's big, it's not massive, it's 5 meters by 2 meters, but for a small garden like this, it's plenty big enough. Let's have a look inside. Well, as you can see, it's quite a long poly. Now, on this side over here, I've built a sort of raised bed on the ground, just a little framework of where I want the bed, just so that I can define the path now. Now, over here, you'll see the wall goes a bit wonky, because that's where I started to build it out of old rubble. But the rest of it seems pretty straight. Now I've got the 2 beds that go around, all the way around the poly. This over here was the original sort of raised bed of the carport. These 2 I've actually built in. And I've built in little drains at the bottom of the raised beds. Like this one over here, where the water that gathers in can drain freely out. And of course there's another one on the exiting over the other side in that far corner. Now, in this corner here, I've built my workstation with shelves and everything else. So when I do my potting, and over here, this is my workstation of where I'm going to be doing all the potting, and then I've got the shelves to put it all out. And I still have to run some sort of electrical cables here into the polytunnel, so that I've got plenty of room or place where I can put electrical appliances like your heated propagator and stuff like that. But anyway, that's the polytunnel. I'm really happy to have this up, because it's certainly going to help me a lot during the winter. From the big polytunnel, I built this little pathway around to the arbour out of the coping stones that were previously on the raised beds around the carport. First thing that you'll notice when you enter the arbour, apart from the screens that are around it, is I've built a little handrail over here and some gentle sort of steps that go down, because my wife's got a bit of a dodgy knee, and so she needs shallow sort of steps. It makes it easier, and with an old rustic handrail like that, it's quite easy to grasp, and it's very comfortable under the hand. I still have to sand it down, but when it's completely dried out properly, I will do that. But anyway, here's the steps going down, and at the end of the arbour, I've got a bench to sit on. Now, when I sit on this bench and I look out, I can see the raised bed that I've built, and right framed in the doorway is my house. And I can only see my house, I can't see the neighbours, which gives it a sense of, much greater sense of privacy. And that's, I think, what I'm trying to get in this garden, is a sense of privacy, because all the structures that are built around block out the road. Now I can see the rooftops, you know, the upper windows of the next door neighbours, but when my trees grow up, those will almost disappear. But I haven't got the trees in yet. They're only coming in October. So come sit where I am sitting. Now you see, this is what I'm seeing when I sit on the bench. And isn't that great? Because all you can see my house, and this makes this arbour really, really private. And just down to the side over here is a new raised bed now that I'm building. Now I only laid these blocks yesterday, so I'm waiting a little while, and then I'm going to raise it, and I'm going to put some flowers like lavender or something else in it, because this is where I'm going to have a little statuette of Mary. I'm going to put a bridge across here, and there is where Mary is going to be sitting here. Now, I haven't got that statuette, but I'm still looking for it. Mary, the Mother of God, and that's where I want to put her, if I can find a statuette. I'm at the back gate of my house. Now, when I come in through the back gate, I'm entered by the back of the polytunnel and a screen, and of course my bins that I have to put out into the street every week. And now, as I go through and I around this corner, I'm entered with the new polytunnel that I'm going to have here. But that polytunnel is just a placement marker of the chicken coop I'm going to have. Because all along this area where there used to be a raised bed, I'm going to be putting my nesting boxes over here. And where this polytunnel is, I'm going to have the chicken run. Now, I want the polytunnel in there because I'm going to be building the chicken coop around it, right up towards the top of the pergola. and I'm going to encage it in wire, but I want the polytunnel to be inside, so that during the winter, when it's really, really cold, I can then put the cover on, and the chickens can go out into the run and keep warm. Now, you may think that it's quite a strange idea to worry about keeping the chickens warm because they have all these feathers. But in my research, I found out that if the chickens get too cold, they stop laying eggs. And now, because I'm going to have 5 layers, I don't want them to stop laying eggs because I'm going to be relying on their eggs all the way through summer and winter. So by having the polytunnel there, it'll just tip the odds into my favor that they will keep on laying nice and tasty eggs for me for every breakfast. Well, this is the view that I've got from looking out of my back door. Now, I love this view because all the constructions here have hidden the road and the first floor of houses, you know, or windows completely away from scene, so nobody can just look into my garden, and so it's becoming very private. Now, what I've got to do next in October is over here, I'm planting a pear tree, and over here, I'm going to be planting a plum tree. Over there, I'm going to be planting a cherry tree, and over here, I'm going to be planting an apple tree. Now, hopefully, when all these plants grow up, their foliage will hide all those windows behind a screen of green leafage, of foliage and stuff like that. So it'll make the garden a very, very private little sanctuary for myself and my family. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video because I'm loving my garden. And I've planted a whole lot of vegetables and all sorts of other things inside the garden, and it's really beginning to take off. Now, a lot of them have begun to fruit, and a lot of them have a few little problems that I think you can possibly help me with. So please, don't miss my next video, and like and share this one among your friends. I thank you for watching, and bye-bye.